Hello everyone and welcome to this little video which is in our Great Engine Middlegames series. I'm Grandmaster Matthew Sadler and we are taking a look at a game between RubiChess and Stoofvlees in the TCEC Season 25 Division P. I saw this game live as it happened and well, I was expecting this to be a lovely little example of how Stoof plays and the unique stuff that it brings to the TCC. And well, I guess it did in a way, but it wasn't quite how I intended, because somehow Stoofvlees, after playing some gorgeous moves, lost the thread and missed the tactic. But it was gorgeous all the same. So let's have a look how this went. So this position arose after a rather dodgy sort of Queen's Indian, King's Indian hybrid. And Stoofvlees have been doing pretty well, actually, gradually reducing White's fairly substantial opening advantage. And, well, I mean, you'd think this was, you know, from a normal King's Indian, basically. So in this position, Stoofvlees, the pawn on e5 is attacked. Instead of doing anything normal like defending it, Stoofvlees decided to go all in. And in a pretty nice way, play the move rook to g3, just leaving that pawn en prise. Well, RubiChess took up the challenge and now got hit with bishop takes h3. So that's a pretty nice little way of dealing with all the threats against the f4 square. You're just threatening bishop takes g2 here, and of course takes rook takes h3 is going to be well, rather painful for White. So RubiChess played the move rook f2 just to defend g2, and this looks like a very good move. I mean, we're threatening stuff like queen takes f4 and knight g4, which would be nice. Well, it's always allowing rook g5 check, you know, behind the knight, and well, that's at least a perpetual and most likely more somehow. So yeah, I mean, black seems to have a few problems here, but Stoofvlees had got something absolutely incredible prepared. And well, if you haven't seen it yet, then do maybe pause the video and try and guess it, because it's an amazing move. Yeah, Stoofvlees had prepared the move queen e3 in this position. Wow, what a move! What a way of covering that f4 pawn. So yeah, I mean, obviously you still can't take on h3 here, because I go rook h3. And if you go rook h2, then I've got queen d2. You know, you're pinned like this. So, you know, there's again, this is not particularly what White is looking for. Yeah, it was hard to find a move for White, to be honest, but obviously Ruby found a good one, and that was the move queen d4. So yeah, you're sort of still defending that that rook on f2, and you're also threatening to take the queen with rook takes e3. By the way, you know, takes here was very, very painful for black. Obviously, you're going to take this one, and then you're going to take the pawn on g2. The engines were looking at playing rook f3 takes, bishop g4, threatening well, eventually d1 queen. Also, there's moves like knight e4 coming in, and there was one nice line: knight c3, h4, rook d3. Looks like you're winning the pawn. But then knight h5, and the clever idea is that after rook d2, we go rook f1, king h2, and knight g3 with unstoppable mate. So there's quite a few nice lines in there, but that's the basic idea. So queen d4 sidesteps that fork, and you're threatening to take on e3. Well, Stoofvlees threw in queen c1 check, and White's got nothing better than queen d1. And this was the moment where it all went wrong, because Stoofvlees kept on throwing wood onto the fire and ended up getting burnt itself. The best move is to play queen takes d1 here, takes, and then knight g4. Well, I think this was Dragon against Stockfish, went rook g5 check, king h7, rook takes h5, king g6. Obviously we're attacking the rook, we're attacking this rook as well. Bishop g4, rook h4, king g5, rook h7, and f3. The attack keeps on coming. Actually, I think Dragon was also looking at playing a4, just undermining the queen side, but f3 is the most obvious. King h2, we take like this. Rook takes, obviously you can't take the rook because of queen there, so rook takes, and now this lovely idea, c6. dc6, bishop f3 check, and bishop takes c6. knight d4, king g6, rook e7, bishop a8, rook e6, rook f6. And, well, basically this position is going to end up a draw. If you take off, then this position with bishop and 2 against knight and 3 is a draw. Yeah, after rook e8, bishop b7, the engines were managing to draw this with relative ease. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, you know, still I think, you know, I guess you could have a number of doubts about whether queen takes d1 was going to be the easiest. And Stoofvlees had a much nicer tactical idea in mind. Knight g4. What's the idea? Well, we're threatening knight f2, and we've got rook takes g2 check. So for example, queen c1, we've got knight f2, and if you try to do this, then rook takes g2 would be checkmate. So, well, we can throw in rook g5 check, king h8. If you try to do queen takes c1 there, knight takes f2 and king h2 now, then, well, actually, it's going to be quite similar to the game, unfortunately. So I'm not going to show you that right now, but that was also possible. As long as you find the key line that that RubiChess found. I mean, what RubiChess did was very natural, very human actually, to be honest. You take the h-pawn first of all, and then you go queen takes c1. And after knight takes f2, king h2, rook takes g5, g takes h3, then Stoofvlees played rook g8, and at first sight this looks really, really good, because you're threatening rook g2 checkmate, and if you do something like queen f1, we go f3. This is the key point, threatening rook g2. So queen f2, we've got rook g2 check, and then after queen g2 we go rook g2, and then we've got rook c2, and it's just a complete win for black. So that was the idea. However, there is a slight problem, because white's got the amazing idea here, and you might want to just pause the video here and just see whether you can find it. White's got the amazing idea bishop g6 here. So, well, just interposing, of course, but if you play rook takes g6, I go queen b2 check, king h7 and queen f2, and well, you haven't got f3 in yet, so if you go rook g2, I just take it. Takes, and well, just a knight for absolutely nothing up. So bishop g6, incredible move, interference and just freeing the queen, and it has to be done all at the right moment as well. I mean, if you were to give a check earlier, king g8, g takes h3, I wouldn't go rook g8 there. I'd just play the move f3. And well, after bishop h7 takes rook g2. Actually, the engines thought that this would be a draw. In actual fact, this would be about even. But yeah, I mean, it's clear that black's a lot better. And you might ask, well, in that case, why can't I go f3 here? Well, that's the point, isn't it? With the queen on c1, queen takes g5 is possible. So it's really, you know, quite an amazing little tactical sequence there. You know, just and it all hangs together. It's just one move order that refutes it. You know, you have to take on c1 at this moment. You have to take on h3 at this moment, and it's only after rook g8 that you throw in bishop g6. And then, yeah, and then if rook takes g6, then queen b2 saves it. Well, in the game, Stoofvlees played knight g4, but yeah, it looks like you might get some counterplay, you know, some rook g4, maybe some rook h6 mates, but yeah, RubiChess bravely walked into the fray, and well, 2 rooks were never going to be enough to deal with all of that. Rook g3, king f4, the white king was safe, and it was soon time for RubiChess to start checking. So there we are. Hope you enjoyed that quick video. If you liked it, why not give a like, subscribe to the channel, take a look at my new books, which are under there. Reengineering the Chess Classics and Silicon Road to Chess Improvement, full of great stuff like this. And otherwise, you know, thanks very much for watching, and hope to see you for the next videos. Thanks for watching.